and welcome to the Game Line, Wales Online's daily rugby debate show. I'm Ben James, joined by a very special guest today, James Hook. How you doing, James?
Oh, yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Great to have you here. And sitting alongside you is Andy Hell. I'm not sure you've ever been this close to Andy.
No. Yeah, it's great to see James in here. You know, so our careers sort of coincide a bit because, they say, James probably goes back to about the cup final for Neath. What year was that, James? 2005, something like that?
Yeah, 2005, yeah.
Again, was against Pontypridd?
Pontypridd, last minute.
Did you win it last minute after you give an interception try away, something like that?
No, I scored an interception try,
right,
and we lost it then. Flanagan dropped goal then.
Yeah.
Oh, good memory, and.
Yeah, I thought it was something like that, James. Because you like giving an interception. Was it John de Villiers or someone? South Africa?
Yeah, might have been that,
yeah. I can remember Gatner showed us a video once. He said de Villiers always this is what he does. He always goes for the ball, and guess what happened next game?
Yeah.
I think you might have nicked that one.
Sorry, forget about that.
Yeah. Sorry, Jim.
This wasn't how I was expecting this to start. It's great to have you here. Now that we picked apart your interception game. It's Wales-England this weekend, and I'm sure you've got many great memories of Wales-England, starting with 2007. That was your first game against them, wasn't it?
First, yeah. So I played 12 all that campaign. Stephen Jones got injured before the last game. We would have had the wooden spoon if we hadn't won. So it was a good day. I think everyone expected England to win, come to Cardiff, and it hadn't been a great campaign for us, but we turned it around and got a good convincing win against the English, which was always nice.
James, you went for the scorecard that day, if I remember rightly, up against Toby Flood. That must have been actually, was that one of your favourite days in a Welsh shirt? There was so much pressure going into that game because everyone thought England going to whitewash Wales and compete on a low, and you had a massive performance.
Yeah, I think like I say, nobody expected anything, and I was chuffed to get the nod at 10 and have a good run there, and just wasn't really sure what to expect. But I've been waiting for that opportunity at 10 to play for Wales and to play against England, even though we had nothing really on it in terms of the Six Nations. Just to get a win alone was great. I just remember after just winning the game, and the crowds didn't want to leave. The atmosphere was amazing. The roof was shut, and for 15-20 minutes after the crowd, nobody moved. They were just cheering the team round the pitch. You'd swear we'd have won the Six Nations, not just only won one game.
Yeah, the other thing about it, of course, it wasn't a fluke, was it? Wales actually won that game easily.
Yeah, it was quite comfortable right the way through. We never looked like losing, and England on the day had some great players, great individuals. So it was a good win. Maybe they thought they could come and just turn us over easy enough, but we turned up that day and got a good win.
Yeah, of course. And they went on to the World Cup final that year, didn't they, as well? So
that's right. Yeah.
Because you made your debut the previous year in Argentina, I think, didn't it?
2006 in the summer, Argentina.
I covered that too. I remember Patagonia.
Yeah, quite a few boys had these first caps.
Alan Wynne-Jones,
Alan Wynne, Ian Evans, Hibbard. So it was a good crop to come through on that tour. And I remember the following autumn then, 2006, played against Australia in the Millennium Stadium. So my first experience that was in the Millennium Stadium, but that England game
was the
first
draw,
experience
wasn't it?
the Six Nations.
26-all draw, was it? You came off the bench.
That's right, 29 all, I think it was. Yeah.
You came off the bench after about 18-20 minutes, was it?
Yeah, again, Stephen Jones had a knock, I think it was to his leg or something, and I was just thrilled to sort of be on the bench. I mean, me and Mike Phillips were on the bench thinking, just taking in the atmosphere and the size of the stadium, and before I knew it, I was on the pitch, and he didn't have time to think, really.
Just wondering, Mike, one fight need to get on, didn't he?
He tried his best, but good day.
Yeah, it was a good day. He'd been past the score when he went on. Australia were winning fairly easy, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, I can't remember that exact score, but it was an entertaining game.
Yeah. It certainly turned it around, wasn't it? And the crowd were fantastic that day as well.
Yeah, they were amazing, and again, Australia had some world class players in their team. I think it was Lottie Takiri who was in the team, some really good players, so shame we couldn't win, but we didn't lose.
Exactly. Going back to that 2007 game, didn't you lose your contact lens in that one?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I saw just before I took a kick at a knock, and just my contact lens came out. Thought it was in my eye somewhere, but I couldn't see out of one eye, so it was a bit blurry. So I took a kick with it like that, and I actually got asked afterwards if I wanted like free laser eye surgery and all that sort of stuff, but I don't know, it was quite early on in my career. I didn't know what I know now about laser eye surgery, so I didn't bother. So I probably wish I did know, but I wear contact lenses. I've done all my career. So
did you nail the kick with one eye?
No, I can't remember.
Probably did that. Probably did that,
the scorecard. I don't know if you missed anything that day.
So I might have. Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that was the one where someone was having to point out where the posts were for you.
yeah, that's happened a few times.
We're getting quite a lot of questions coming in. I'm not sure if you're aware. Gavin Henson did an interview this morning with us, which is quite a big thing. So we got a question here from Mark Miller. Has James got a Gavin Henson story we might not have heard before? There's been a few. Is there one that you can pull from the top of your head?
Oh, I don't know. What tweet did he put out this morning?
Well, it was the whole sort of story. We did a 3,000 word interview with Gav at his new pub.
Oh, right, yeah.
So,
he's a bit of a footballer now. Did
yeah.
Did he ever show his football skills in training when he kicked around with the ball?
Oh, he's always a skillful bloke, isn't he? He's always a bit of a footballer. But I've seen some of his highlights of his football this season. Like, he scored some screamers, in fairness to him, but... stories? No, I can't think of any stories really. So,
do you used to enjoy playing alongside him?
Oh, I love playing alongside Gav. Yeah, he was a player who could do everything. I think, you look at sort of Jamie Roberts. He's sort of up and down player, brilliant at what he does. But Gav could do that. He could kick the ball a mile. He's got the silky skills. Defensively, really, really strong. I know Sean Edwards, when he was in the Welsh squad, used to love having Gav in there because he was a rock in the centre. And yeah, to have him outside me as a 10 was amazing. Yeah.
Did it make your job easier when he was at 12?
Yeah, probably did, because he talked a lot and his knowledge of the game was amazing as well. So like he almost coached me coming through as a young 10 as well, and him outside me just sort of coaching me, giving me tips along the way when I'm on the field. Yeah, it was great, and he was like a second 10 outside me.
Do you think he could be cut out then, really? He could make a the good coach or skills coach or something? Or
I reckon he could, yeah, 100%. Yeah, he could. I don't know what he plans on doing in the near future, but he could be a coach. And like you speak to a lot of players who played with him, even in the Dragons towards the end of his career there. People talk about his knowledge of the game, and he doesn't speak a hell of a lot, but when he does speak, people listen because he's got that knowledge. He's been there, he's been on Lions tours, he's won Grand Slams, he's a quality player.
Talking of coaching, you're coming to the end of your career now. You've announced retirement, finishing at the end of the season. What are your ambitions beyond this summer?
So yeah, I'm enjoying doing a bit of coaching, doing stuff in the academy with the Ospreys, in the 18s sort of rag block this year. So yeah, I'm just trying to cut my teeth at that at the moment. I'm still obviously learning, but doing my level 3 qualification, which hopefully be finished in the next month or so. So yeah, I just want to try and gain as much knowledge as I can from a coaching point of view, because obviously I know a lot about the game, but just trying to deliver it and get it out there as well. Because I've spent sort of the last 16 years listening to coaches, so now it's trying to get that across to the players now.
How do you find having to deliver it then?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm
it's almost like being a teacher, I suppose.
Yeah, and it's not just delivering sort of calls and structures of play. It's just talking to individuals, and you try to take the best bits you've received from the best coaches you've had and try and deliver that,
So
from myself.
What's the best advice you've ever had then off a coach?
I think not so much one piece of advice. I think the best coaches I've had are the ones who give you that confidence. So I always go back to like Nigel Davis and Gareth Jenkins, even though they weren't in the Welsh sort of squad as coaches for a long time. They give me personally that confidence, and I love playing under them for that time, even though we weren't obviously as successful as Gatland's reign. I just loved it because they give me that confidence. They almost focused on the positives and the good things you did. Well, it's not forgetting the things you probably couldn't do as well, but sort of bringing the best out of you in that respect.
That's one of the great skills, isn't it, of management, is identifying a person, say for you, for example, then and find out what makes you tick. And whether you need control and just giving confidence, or some people actually need probably shouting at, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's different, yeah. And some players, you get a reaction by screaming and shouting at them. And I wasn't one of those players. Like I think everyone's probably a confidence player, and like you say, just how to push those buttons and get them going in different ways. Yeah. So I think that's a skill as a coach, and probably something if I do go into it more frequently, something you got to learn.
Yeah. Who's the player you either played against or with who's got the most confidence?
Most confidence? Mike Phillips.
It is Mike Phillips. That's not just bravado, is it?
No. But on the pitch, I know he speaks off the pitch about how good he is, but that's from a rugby point of view. But in general life, he's sort of down to earth, great bloke, but like when he's talking about rugby, he's the best scrum half that's ever lived, and he believes, and he plays on the pitch and does it week in, week out, or did it week in, week out. Yeah.
How did you find sort of your playing experiences differed in the different leagues and different countries you played in? Obviously, you played Ospreys, Gloucester, Perpignan. So you had a taste of different ventures in European rugby.
Yeah, I think going to France was completely different, out of my comfort zone. Obviously, the obvious thing is the language barrier. Just I was speaking about someone the other day actually about just meetings. They're all in French, and why wouldn't they be? Obviously, you're in France, but trying to pick up things. Being a 10 as well. Communicate there. You got to. The link between the backs and forwards, etc. So you want to try and pick up as much as you can, as quickly as you can. It's difficult when I'm speaking French and you haven't got a clue what they're on about. So I was fortunate to have the backs coach there, who was obviously French but spoke a lot of English. So if there's anything I was unsure of, I'd speak to him. But all the calls and things in France were places in Perpignan or numbers. So it's like any new team, you learn the calls and that's it. Like, it's no problem. So yeah, and in France there was a lot of 1-2 phases, and then it was heads up, and it was just play what you see, so it wasn't too difficult.
That suited you then?
Suited me, yeah, it did. Yeah. It did. I loved it in France. I really enjoyed it. I think going over to Gloucester after that was different again. It was tough. You obviously got the same as in Perpignan. You got that promotion, relegation. Sorry, winning the league or relegation. So there's a lot of pressure on every single game. But the main thing between France and Gloucester is going away from home. You're just as competitive in the English league. But France, you probably would be happy with a losing bonus point. Whereas Gloucester, the mentality is a big difference.
Out of those two clubs, you've actually got the best or the most vocal fans or the most passionate, because they're both passionate clubs, eh?
Really passionate. I think that's really tough. That is. I think Gloucester full house every single week. Whether you played in a sort of Anglo-Welsh, young team, that's still not far off selling out, and they get right behind you, and I think Richard Ibbard said something not so long ago about the Gloucester fans is, if they can see you giving 100%, whether you win or lose, they're behind you. The French fans are just loud, just loud and noisy with the drums, and a bit louder, but still just as passionate. So it's good.
Of course, the Perpignan ground used to be known before you actually went in, but they beat you out of the bit. It was known as the Bull Ring.
Yeah.
So, with high fences. I remember the first time I ever went, I was with Van Ethy. They got hammered by Perpignan in a Heineken Cup quarter final. Ibanez, we got Rafael Ibanez, now the French team manager, the Perpignan captain, and he was known as the Bull Ring or the Bear Pit, because he was so hostile there. And they were pretty hostile that particular day, because there'd be some controversy involving Pontypridd and Perpignan earlier in the tournament. So they wanted to take action against Van Ethy.
Yeah, they were passionate, I think. And I remember we played there with the Ospreys the year before I joined, so I had an experience of the atmosphere being on the opposition team. But I remember Nicolas Mas, he was the captain.
That game,
Yeah, but he left Perpignan to go to Montpellier, which are the big rivals of Perpignan, hour or so up the road. And we used to train on the pitch during the week, and on the Monday morning when it was announced he was leaving for Montpellier, there was fans with big banners saying traitor and everything else. So
they're pretty hot-headed over there.
Hot-headed, yeah. But they just showed they're passionate and didn't want the best players to leave, so forgive them a little bit.
We've got a few questions here, some about playing outside of Wales, so we'll go to that one first. Dave Edwards said, should playing outside of Wales harm your international chances? It's a tough one. It's probably the question that we always come back to in Wales, isn't it?
Yeah, I know you want everyone to be playing in Wales, best players to be playing in Wales, and we all know we're probably struggling crowd-wise, but I think when it comes to the international team, I think you should have your best players playing for your country, if they're playing outside of Wales or not, so.
Okay, obviously it's trip to Twickenham this weekend. We got a question here from Richard Harris. Looking forward to a trip to Twickenham this weekend now. What does James think is the worst thing about playing there, and what is the best thing other than beating England on their own turf? Obviously, you've got some good memories.
Yeah.
2008, obviously. 2010, you sliced their midfield apart. I think that was the second best try that day after bombs.
Yeah.
80 yards.
That's right there, yeah. It's up to 80 now, isn't it? So, the worst thing about playing in Twickenham, I don't know, just losing it, I think, is probably the worst thing about.
Because it's not like a traditional, you look at the Millennium Stadium and that's like a cauldron, isn't it? Twickenham's not that, but it's still a daunting place to go.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never found it daunting, really. I think people coming to the Millennium Stadium, Principality Stadium, find that daunting because of the noise and
the people in your face.
Yeah, but it's not like that. It's I wouldn't say it's quiet. It's not quiet, but
it's just playing a tough team, isn't
it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's the team, not so much the crowd. Yeah.
And the other thing always strikes me at Twickenham, you always contending with the wind because it swirls round there.
Yeah, it can swirl. Yeah, and it's quite open. Obviously, the Principality Stadium, we've got the roof and it's all enclosed, so you don't feel any wind really. But you do feel the wind. It swirls a little bit, but. Boys are used to that week in, week out playing for the clubs, so it's not a big issue really.
Yeah, what was that match like in 2008?
I think I spoke about it a lot. I think it's probably a little bit similar to this weekend. Probably not as much, but no one's expecting Wales to win. They didn't expect us to win in 2008. First half didn't go to plan. It was like, so here we go. And second half it was a complete turnaround. England weren't the team that turned up in the first half, and we raised our game, scored a couple of nice tries, and we ended up coming away from it thinking, jeepers, how do you win that? And obviously we went on to win the Grand Slam, so it was a great day, and obviously the load of Welsh fans were up there and they loved it.
Can you remember the half-time team talk?
I had to ask it myself, to be honest.
Yeah,
sorry, Ben.
I think nothing in particular. I think Sean Edwards sort of spoke up and said, we needed to tidy our defence up a little bit, and because they were cutting us a fair bit, and nothing I remember in particular, but I think everyone knew we didn't need a team talk. We come off the pitch half time knowing we needed to up our game. We weren't good enough, and that was it. And something clicked. They dropped the game a little bit. England, it was like Wilkinson was throwing loose passes. Like Cipriani come on that day, and just probably world class players making errors for England that never usually happen, and played in our favour.
Got a question here from Jack Robinson. It's always relevant this sort of week. Did you ever view playing England any differently to like any other country in the Six Nations?
I think for a Welsh player, it is different. You can't say it's not. I think for me as a young boy growing up, I always look forward to the Five Nations back in the day. Show my age a bit now, but when the Wales England game was on, I think everyone tuned into it. You used to tune into all the games, but the Wales England was the one you grew up wanted to watch that game, and I don't think it's any different now.
Who's the best English player you played against? Or with? Obviously you won the Lions 209 with some of them.
Yeah, the best English player I played against. I'd say probably Johnny Wilkinson. He is. I used to watch his DVDs when I was younger. Johnny Wilkinson, the Perfect 10, and used to sort of look how sort of much he analyses things, and obviously in particular his kicking. So to actually get the chance to play against him for Wales against England, but I played against him out in France as well, and I played for Perpignan, and really nice bloke, and just obviously what he's done in the game speaks for itself. So he's probably the best English player I played against. Yeah.
And then looking ahead to sort of this weekend, what have you made of Wales so far in the Six Nations? Obviously it's a new coach, new regime, and
I think Italy was the perfect start, for Six Nations, for Pivac and Stephen Jones and all the coaching staff. But I think you look at that Ireland game, it's small margins, and if Hadley Parks has scored that try, it's a different game. And I think you look again at the French game, again with the try was disallowed for the knockdown, things like that, big swings in international rugby. You don't get many opportunities, so you feel like if we'd have taken those, then it would have been a different game. But we're not a million miles away. I think there's been some good performances from like Tompkins, for example, who's stepped up. He had a tough time defensively in Ireland, but he looked really sharp against France. So hopefully it'll click this weekend.
Yeah, he looks good on the ball, doesn't he? He's making a lot of meters.
Yeah, he does. He's not afraid to take people on either. He's just picks his head up and has a crack, and he's got some pace as well. So.
And what do you think of the style Wales are trying to play?
Yeah, they're trying to play a bit more expansive. I think the kicking game. I think Wales are good when they kick to compete. We've got the best people, particularly in the back three, and Dan Bigger, those boys in the air. So when we try and kick to get the ball back, we're better. I think probably against the French. They sort of
France were pretty good in that, mind.
They had a bit of pay.
They had a lot of length on their kicks.
They had a lot of length on the kicks. Yeah, when we kicked to them, they probably took us on a bit. And I suppose when you look at England this weekend, you don't want to kick loosely to sort of Johnny May, Jonathan Joseph, Daly, these boys. So I think we're better in the air than England. So take them on there, I think.
Yeah, I guess as well this weekend, Wales won't want to take England on. In a sense, Wales be better against them, moving the ball and some footwork and that sort of thing. That's the way we can contend with England. It'd be difficult to batter our way through them.
100%. I think England have been picking 6 forwards on the bench as well, so they know how they're going to come out and how they're going to attack us. So I think we've got people like you mentioned Tompkins and our back three, and we've got boys with footwork. So yeah, if we can take them on there, and that's what we're trying to do in fairness. So I think we've got to give the boys time and the coaches time.
How difficult will it be to put people, say, if he is fit, Liam Williams and maybe Josh Naridi, if they're fit, Naridi's had to play since the World Cup, and Liam hasn't played since then. Would it actually be fair on those boys to put them in now? How difficult is it to go in a big match like this?
Yeah, it is tough. I think Liam Williams, like you say, hasn't played since the World Cup, but Josh Adams is out. Rees-Zammit, they're talking about putting him in, and he's been on fire for Gloucester. So George North as well, is if he's got no sort of repercussions from last week, then he probably plays as well. But I think Rees-Zammit should start. Liam Williams haven't played since the World Cup, so perhaps he'd come onto the bench. I'm not sure.
If Rees-Zammit started, what impact would that have on the English players psychologically, because they know him from playing in England, and he's been on, like as you said, he's been on fire over there.
Yeah, nothing. They'll know how good a player he is.
Would they be concerned about him a bit, thinking, well, this is why we got to mark him up?
Of course they would, yeah, because you look at his performances for Gloucester, he's been flying, so they'll treat him with respect regardless of his age, and rightly so, because he deserves that. But again, they'll probably look to sort of target him a little bit, perhaps because it'd be his first cap, but he'd be expecting that, and he'd be told that through the coaching staff, etc. So no, I think everyone likes to see young players given an opportunity. We saw with George North, he was so young, getting an opportunity, and look how well he's done. So
yeah, but he was even younger. I think he was 18. This boy is 19 now.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. So I think he's ready. Yeah.
As always, a lot of the headlines in Wales are about the number 10 jersey. A few people are sort of questioning whether Dan Bigg is the man to sort of move forward in this sort of Wayne Pivac game plan. But before all that, we're sort of waiting to see if he'll even be fit for the game. We think he's going to be fit. What are your thoughts on? Should you risk Dan Bigg? Obviously, seemed to hyperextend his knee last weekend. And do you think he is the man going forward? Obviously, got Jared Evans nipping at his heels now. Yeah,
I think he's the man to go forward. Yeah, he showed. He always gets his criticism, Dan Bigg, but he always performs. And I think it's maybe because he's not a flair player. People are quick to say, "Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that." But what about what he can do? I think you talk about his aerial skills, his kicking, his goal kicking, just his line kicking, and I think he is trying to take his game on another level now. We talk about getting flatter to the line and things, so he can free up the boys outside him. So
and he's such a tough kid as well, and that mental resilience.
Yeah, he is.
Is it that sort of misconception that because Wales want to play a more expansive running game, that people think that the fly half has to do a lot of the running himself, and that's not really the case, is it? You just have to be able to pick out the options outside you. Yeah,
exactly, and distribute, and like I say, he's got the options outside him, and I'm not saying there's no place for Jared Evans in the team, because I love the way he plays, and he's a great attacking threat himself, so I think it's a good mix. I think, probably speaking from personal experience, with Stephen Jones, but Stephen Jones and myself were probably two completely different players, but I suppose it can be horses for courses and complement each other a little bit as well. So
when you've got players like Jared Evans and yourself, Gareth Anscombe and all who can pose problems to the opposition defence, does that make that opposition defence then have to be more honest, because they that helps you actually put people away and all, because they're concerned about your running threat?
Of course it is, yeah. If you're that number 3 defender marking up the number 10, you got to keep an eye on him, and I think that's what Dan Bigg is getting better at, is getting flatter to the line, so the defenders just don't push off him so easily, and obviously it frees up outside then. So yeah, like I say, I think he gets his criticism, Dan Bigg, but he always bounces back, and he's a quality player. Simple as that.
Tell us a little bit about Owen Watkin. You obviously play with him in the Ospreys, know him and all that. Now tell us how good a player is he potentially? What's his attributes?
I think he's probably unlucky not to start in the French game. I thought with Tompkins having the criticism, I thought they may bring Owen Watkin in. But like you say, Tompkins did really well. But I think from where he's come, I think he's been unlucky because he's been behind Hadley Parks and obviously Jonathan Davis when he's been fit. So he's had limited opportunities. But I think every time he's played, he's took his opportunity. He's looked class, And when he came off the bench in the World Cup and when he started that game that Jonathan Davis was injured, he did himself. He was brilliant. So I think when he gets another opportunity, whether it will be in the Six Nations,
he can play both inside and outside centre as well, or is he better and more suited to one? And my next question was going to be, could him and Tompkins, who can play 12, could they form a combination?
Yeah, of course they could, yeah, 100%, yeah. And Owen Watkin is he's different to Hadley Parks, isn't he? Hadley Parks is brilliant at what he does, similar to what we said about Jamie Roberts, but he's got those little touches on Watkin. He's got a little kicking game as well. Defensively, he's really strong. So I think we're quite lucky to have him, and the way he's come, or how far he's come the last couple of years, is a testament to him.
So we'll finish off with one question that probably follows on from the Johnny Wilkinson answer. Charlie Evans asks, who was the best player you ever played with or against? And I doubt you're going to answer this part of the question. And the worst player ever played with or against? I don't know anyone who's ever asked or answered that question, to be honest.
Best player. Shane Williams, best player played with by a country mile, I think. And I played with some really good players, but he just a type of player. And when we were down, we were losing 5 minutes to go, you'd look, where's Shane? Like, get him the ball, and he's going to do something. And often when he did get the ball, he did do something, particularly around that sort of 2008, 2009 period where he was on fire. I think, unbelievable. So, it's quite an easy one for me.
And we'll leave the second half of that question. That's never getting answered, is it?
I don't think Yoki's ever been on a pitch with me. So.
Oh, you'd have
we did a
scrum
kicking once.
Scrum half, was it?
Yeah, you'd have been catching the passes up there.
Vance Wallace pass.
Yeah. Pick me 15, huh?
There we go. I think that's it for today. James, I should tell you what, before you finish, we might as well touch on the book, because that's the other thing you've got coming up.
Yeah.
As well as the coaching ambitions and all that, you've got a book coming out this summer, haven't you?
Yeah, I got a series of children's books. So, first one's out actually in June the 4th. We just finished the second one. It's called Chasing a Rugby Dream, and basically it's a fiction book, sort of drawn across from my experiences on the pitch and off the pitch, and through the eyes of a 10-year-old boy called Jimmy. So. So hopefully it'll go well. It's out on June the 4th.
So who's your publisher, James?
Polaris, so a guy called Pete Burns from Polaris Publishers. So you
enjoy the writing on that?
It's good. So the author who I work with, Dave Brayley, who's from Swansea, he's a children's author. I got in touch with him through a friend called Mal Pope, which a couple of you may know. And basically he's been writing it now for the last sort of year and a half. So it's been good fun, and bringing up sort of old experiences and memories. So that's good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about before. There is a gap in the market there, isn't there? There's a lot of football fiction books, but rugby-wise, there's nothing.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. And that's why I sort of came up with the idea. It was my eldest boy in Gloucester. Was after a rugby book. I went to look for one and we couldn't find one. So it just got me thinking then, and that's obviously when I got in touch with the guys, and here we are. Yeah.
Indeed. And you got a testimonial coming up this summer as well?
Yeah, I got a testimonial, so the Ospreys have granted me a testimonial, so that starts, the launch is 25th of April. We're dinner in Cardiff in the Swadig Stadium, and then the Legends match in the Knoll on the 11th of July, so it should be quite good. Some old boys are going to play.
Who's got playing in that game?
There's quite a few boys confirmed, like Gav's confirmed, Henson, Lee Byrne, Shane Williams, Mike Phillips, Henry Tuolangi said he'd come over from Perpignan. Luke Charteris, Adam Jones said he'll come down. So there's a good few boys that said they'll play. So
Tommy Bow
Tommy Bow's going to come. I'm trying to twist his arm to play. But he said he's going to be there. So hopefully he'll have 5-10 minutes.
How much of a ribbon did he have in 2008 when he missed that tackle on Shane, the tryout in Ireland? Him and Trimble missed him. Did you push the Ospreys back in him back then?
He probably had a bit of stick. Yeah. But he's done well in fairness to himself.
He got back the year after.
Exactly. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. That's it for today's show. Massive thanks for joining us, James.
Pleasure.
Cheers, James.
Cheers, mate.
And as for the game line, same time, same place tomorrow.